Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable, the Justices of the Massachusetts Trial Court, now presiding in and for the Massachusetts Bar Association's High School Mock Trial Tournament, the Honorable John D. Casey, Probate and Family Court presiding, the Honorable Barbara Savitt Pearson, District Court, the Honorable John Liu, Superior Court. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and this honorable court. This court is now in session. You may be seated.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the finals of the 26th Annual Massachusetts Bar Association's Mock Trial Tournament. Before I go any further, I have been asked to do two public service announcements. First is to reiterate the reminder that everybody turn off and silence and otherwise deactivate your electronic devices and cell phones. The second is, and I've been waiting a long time to do one of these, to tell you that the exits, should there be an emergency, a la the Coconut Grove fire, in which this case is loosely based, exits are that way, where there are exit signs, and this way, at the front of the room, where there are exit signs. It is my honor this year to serve as the chair of the Massachusetts Bar Association's Mock Trial Committee, and I would like to start by introducing our first speaker this morning, the Secretary of the Massachusetts Bar Association, Marcia Kazarosian. She is the managing partner of Kazarosian Law Offices in Haverhill. She has been long active in bar associations across the state, is a past president of the Essex County Bar Association, Massachusetts Academy of Trial Attorneys. An accomplished trial lawyer, Ms. Kazarosian was named one of the top 10 lawyers in the state in 1999 by Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly, and she has been identified as one of the top women lawyers in Massachusetts and New England. She is also very active in the Massachusetts Bar Association, co-chair of the MBA's Education Committee. She served on 10 association committees and sections, including Access to Justice, Civil Litigation, Family Law, and Probate Law Section Councils. MBA Vice President from 2008 to 2009, Ms. Kazarosian has also served on the MBA's Executive Management Board, House of Delegates, Joint Bar Committee on Judicial Nominations, Nominating Committee, and Gala Dinner Committee. In addition, she is a Life Fellow of the Massachusetts Bar Foundation. Please join me in welcoming Marcia Kazarosian.
Thank you very much, Josh, for your kind words. Your Honor, at this time, I would respectfully request permission to address the court.
Okay, that motion is allowed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, first I have an announcement as well. Due to the weather, you have to cancel the competition. I know, it's April Fool's, all right. Welcome everyone to the MBA's 26th Annual Statewide High School Mock Trial Competition Finals. I'm Marcia Kazarosian, and as an officer of the Mass Bar Association, I take great pride in welcoming the talented and probably now really exhausted final competitors, the mock trial teams of Boston Latin School and the Pioneer Valley Performing Arts Charter Public School. Both teams have managed to out-strategize their 121 peer competing high schools across the state. Congratulations. Terrific achievement. You should be very proud of yourselves. I extend a welcome to all of you who have shown your support of the program and the competing students by joining us today and by maintaining that support throughout the year. Thank you to the students' classmates, teachers, lawyer coaches, moms and dads, family, everyone. As a mother of 3 grown children myself who are also students, I know how important your support is and how much it's appreciated by today's competitors. To commemorate the 26th anniversary of our mock trial championship, we are delighted to have a duel between a Western Mass-based school and an Eastern Mass-based school in this great hall in Faneuil Hall. It's in this very hall that thousands of new lawyers are sworn in to our noble profession each year. So it is particularly appropriate that the mock trial students, many of whom hopefully will go on to become part of the Massachusetts legal community, today find themselves in this remarkable and very historic venue. We at the Mass Bar hope that you found this competition as rewarding an opportunity as we have so far, an opportunity that has brought about a greater appreciation of your own abilities, an appreciation and respect of your teammates and your competitors, of the law, of court proceedings, and of the American judicial system. We are the luckiest people in the world to be a part of this democratic nation. I'm confident that this experience will serve you well as you plan your futures in college and as adult citizens. I want to extend a special thanks to the dedicated and incredibly hardworking mock trial committee, masterfully led by Josh McGuire, who, by the way, was involved with the mock trial program and has been since he was in the 8th grade, and his team won that year, so he says. I believe him. He's an unbelievable coach. And also to the many teachers and lawyer coaches who have guided the students through this challenging and grueling competition. Thank you also to the many lawyers and judges who have volunteered their time to judge more than 250 trials across the state throughout this competition. And the Mass Bar Association's Director of Community and Public Services, Elizabeth O'Neill, as well as her staff members, Amy Osborne and Joseph Catchy, who have once again done a fabulous job in coordinating and organizing this exciting event. We also very much appreciate the assistance of Chief Justice Robert Mulligan and the trial court administrative staff, particularly Robert Panitin and Thomas Connolly, who have graciously allowed space and dedicated staff resources for the hundreds of trials required in this months-long competition. And of course, a very special thanks to our presiding and scoring judges for today's finals, the Honorable John D. Casey of the Probate and Family Court, the Honorable John T. Liu of the Superior Court, and the Honorable Barbara Savitt Pearson of the District Court. Thank you all for being a part of this extraordinary event and for being so generous with your time. We're also indebted to the generosity of Brown Rudnick, who for more than 10 years has committed tremendous financial support to the MBA's mock trial program. And finally, thank you to the Massachusetts Bar Foundation, which is the philanthropic partner of the Mass Bar Association, whose support will help defer the travel expenses of the winner of today's competition as they head to the Nationals in sunny Phoenix. Because of the dedication and selfless support of all of you who have partnered with us, the MBA's mock trial program has been a tremendous success in every way. The goal has always been to provide each student with a chance to develop personally as an individual, to become the kind of person who is willing and able to help and support others, to mature into an informed citizen who understands and therefore respects and appreciates our legal system, and particularly how lucky we are to have that system as a right, and to evolve into our future leaders who will most certainly fall back on the skills that you've learned here today to help improve the lives of others around you in the world. So again, I welcome all of you today on this beautiful spring day, and I ask that you please now welcome back to the podium Josh McGuire.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. And as you just heard from Ms. Kazarosian, this program owes an enormous debt, almost literally, to the generous support of Brown Rudnick over the years. And I'd like to now introduce Al Wallace from Brown Rudnick, who is the Executive Director of the Brown Rudnick Center for the Public Interest. He has extensive experience as an attorney, executive, and senior manager, both the public and private sectors, including serving under 2 Boston mayors as the city's corporation counsel. And we would like to very much extend our thanks and appreciation to Brown Rudnick and hear briefly from Al Wallace.
Good morning. What Josh didn't tell you was that Brown Rudnick started making his contributions to the mock trial program when his father worked for Brown Rudnick and found this program and said, we've got to support it. So there's a family connection here as well as a law firm connection. Brown Rudnick is an international law firm. It's been around for about 55 years, started in Boston, it's based in Boston, and it's been since 1998 that the firm has been underwriting the mock trial program. So I'm sort of here to look out for our investment. And our investment is in the program, but it's mostly in the competitors. So if I can just speak for a second, everybody else close your ears, to those who have participated in the mock trial, those who are the finalists here, and others who might be in the hall who took part in the mock trial program. I want to tell you what I think we're investing in, because this is a great celebration today, and it's wonderful to have a goal of having the mock trial finals. But obviously somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose in classic terms. And that's fine, but that's of secondary importance to us in terms of our investment. We think we're investing in the journey that you've all been through in the mock trial program to get here, the journey you've been through in terms of looking into yourselves to see what you can accomplish, how you can overcome your limitations, the journey that gets you to think about our legal system and the benefits it brings to us and the ways it can be used for good. So our investment doesn't stop with the winners or the losers today, and it doesn't stop with the end of the mock trial program. We're hoping that what we've invested in is your continuing referencing back to this time in your life, this occasion, and carrying it forward with you in the form of idealism, hope, optimism, energy for the future. That's what we've invested in. So it's nice to be with you today on one of the way stations along the path of that journey. I wish you all good luck in finding your best selves today. And to everybody else that participated, I hope that you too have found your best selves through the mock trial program. Thank you.
Just a few other remarks before we get underway and a few acknowledgments as well. And I want to start with 3 or so quick history lessons. The first you've already had an allusion to, which is the fact that I, in fact, am the first person standing up here who has also been, well, it wasn't held in this hall at the time, but has also been where these students are sitting. Because I participated in this very program starting in 1988 and all throughout high school as a state champion on a number of occasions. And then also as a teacher coach after that, an attorney coach after that. I've sat as a judge, and it's now my honor to be on the committee. So speaking to the students for just a second, I know this feels like it's taking a very long time, and I can tell you, I know you're anxious to get on with the trial. I know exactly how you feel. Doesn't change the fact that I'm going to talk a little longer. The second history lesson I wanted to give was just a little bit about the 2 teams that are in the finals. These teams faced off in the finals once before, 2006, I think. And at that time, Boston Latin won, and the year before that, Pioneer Valley had been the state champion. And what that means is that whichever one of these teams wins, they will be a repeat champion from within the last several years. What's really interesting, though, is that that will break an unprecedented streak for this tournament, in that for the previous 9 years, we have had 9 separate state champions without any repeats. And I think that gives everybody a little bit of a sense of just how many schools out there are participating in this program and participating at a very high level. And I know what it takes to participate at that level. I congratulate both of these teams. And note that it's just, this program is so rich, so rewarding, and is helping so many high school students throughout the state learn these very important skills. The third quick history lesson is the overview of today's case itself. For the first time ever, the committee reached back into the vault and pulled out one of our favorite cases, dusted it off, rewrote it a fair amount. But this case was originally the one from 1998, when I was then a teacher coach serving on the committee, and is based on, in fact, real events in Florida, where a stop sign was removed from a dangerous intersection, and there was a fatal car accident, and the kids who took the stop sign are charged, as they are in this case, with involuntary manslaughter. Now, most of you in the audience know the facts of this case, but I'll give a quick overview anyway. This one arises out of a scavenger hunt in which high school students, as part of their senior prank, are running around town gathering a bunch of things, many of them humorous, some of them not so humorous, and street signs is on the list. And on that particular evening, the stop sign is removed from Dead Man's Curve, which doesn't mean much to most of the students, but if you've got parents who are big fans of Jan and Dean, they might recognize that tune. And of course, a fatal car accident results, and of course, one of the students is singled out as being the one who is accused of removing the stop sign from that intersection. And this being a mock trial, there's of course an interesting factual question as to whether or not the prosecution and the police have the right guy or girl. I don't actually know which one we've got today. This also being a mock trial, we built another little element into it, and that is the question about the dangerousness of this dangerous intersection. Was it so dangerous, in fact, that the stop sign, even if it had been there, wasn't going to do anybody any good, and therefore removing it is not a causal connection with the accident? The essence of that case is the same as the one that we did in 1998. A lot of the facts and witnesses and the documents certainly have been changed. But I can tell you one final little historical note. The maps in this case are the same as, well, largely the same as the hand-drawn maps from the case in 1998 that somebody on the committee then wrote. I popped them into Adobe and sort of erased things here and there, changed some names, drew a few extra lines. But the basic structure of those maps is now over 10 years old from the history of this program. Thus endeth the history lesson. I wish to thank, once again, our participating judges. I want to also recognize the members of the mock trial committee. I'm just here as their figurehead. It is a tremendous group of volunteers who spend a lot of time putting this together, figuring out what the rules of the tournament should be, overseeing things like that. Some of them are here today. James Barnhill, Mary Bassett, Arthur Karakatsani, Denise Coffey, Richard Coffey, Sharon Jones, Beth Levinson, Elliot Lowe, Tanya Perkins, Deb Schreiber, and Eric Schutzbank. My personal thanks to all of you for having made this case and this year such a success. I also want to thank members of the Mass Bar Association staff, who we also all owe a tremendous debt to as they oversee the logistics, and particularly in a year like this with the weather that we've had and everything else. It is not an easy job. Beth O'Neill, Amy Osborne, Joe Kachi, Keith West, and Wendy Quinn, I think all of whom are here today, we thank them as well. Finally, I want to thank everyone involved in this program other than the people I've just mentioned. All the volunteer judges who judged the trials that got these two teams to this point and all the others around the state. The coaches, both the ones of the finalists here today and every coach out there in the audience, without whom this program couldn't take place. Teachers, parents, and of course the students. This is a vibrant and exciting program you all have very much to be proud of, and I appreciate you making it a continued success, just as it was for me back in 1988. My final reminder is that there will be an awards ceremony at the conclusion of the trial. Please, everybody, stay seated and stick around for that, as we'll have presentations to both teams. And having said all that, let's have a trial.
Well, good morning. I will call the case to order of the Commonwealth versus Bernson matter. Is the Commonwealth prepared to go forward in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
First of all, Your Honor, I ask that a member of my council be allowed to move documents on my behalf.
Okay. Is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Great. Thank you. Okay.
Your Honors, I am showing the opposing counsel a document. May the Commonwealth approach the bench.
You may approach. Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, the Commonwealth asks that these stipulations agreed upon by both parties be moved into evidence as Joint Exhibit 1.
Okay. Is there any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Furthermore, Your Honor, at this time, I ask that this document be marked as Commonwealth Exhibit A for identification purposes only. I'm showing the opposing counsel a document.
Okay. Thank you. That shall be done, and that shall be marked as Exhibit A.
Your Honor, may I proceed?
You may. Do you wish to introduce your fellow teammates, or is that something you're going to do during the...
Yes, Your Honor, I will.
Okay. And counsel, you may be seated during this trial as you deem appropriate, okay? You're certainly welcome to sit. I'll take no offense to that. I don't think the other judges will either, okay?
Good morning once again. My name is Anumita Das, and I, along with my co-counsel, Mr. Harry Shui,
Good morning.
Miss Olive Tang,
Good morning.
and Miss Kelly Zhao,
Good morning.
represent the Commonwealth in this case. Your Honor, reckless decisions can lead to deadly results. Unfortunately, because of the reckless decision of the defendant, Mr. Eddie Burnson, 2 innocent individuals lost their lives. On the night of Thursday, May 13th, 2010, Mr. Nicholas J. Staunton, along with his wife, Mrs. Dolores Staunton, were driving down Dean Road in a Jaguar XKE, approaching the intersection with Jan Street in Olney, Massachusetts. 34 years ago, a fatal accident had occurred at this very intersection, and following the tragedy, 2 stop signs, westbound and eastbound, were placed in the intersection to prevent future fatalities. However, on the night of Thursday, May 13th, 2010, the westbound stop sign was stolen by the defendant. As a result, the Stauntons proceeded through the intersection without stopping and crashed with a Dodge truck coming down Jan Street. Unfortunately, both Mr. and Mrs. Staunton were killed in the accident due to the removal of the stop sign. On that same night, the seniors of Olney High School were holding their senior prank, a scavenger hunt in which the top scorer would receive a large cash prize of $1,500. Street signs were assigned one of the highest point values. The evidence will show that on the night of the accident, the defendant stole the stop sign from the corner of Jan Street and Dean Road, and because of the theft, the Stauntons died. Today, the Commonwealth brings 2 charges against the defendant. First, the theft of a traffic sign, and second, involuntary manslaughter. And we will prove to you each element of both charges beyond a reasonable doubt. First, the evidence will show that the defendant stole the stop sign from the intersection. Your Honors, you will hear that the defendant was the only one to turn in a stop sign in the senior scavenger hunt. You will hear that the manner in which the defendant would take down street signs was identical to the manner in which the perpetrator of the crime stole the stop sign, on the night of the accident. Furthermore, the defense will not be able to provide a credible alibi because the evidence will show that on the night of the accident, the defendant had plenty of time to get to the intersection and steal the stop sign. Second, the evidence will show that the defendant committed involuntary manslaughter. As a resident of the town of Olney, Massachusetts, the defendant was well aware that the intersection would be very dangerous without the presence of a stop sign, and by stealing the sign, he disregarded this danger. Furthermore, the removal of the stop sign was the proximate cause of the accident, because in order for a vehicle to get a full view of oncoming traffic, it must come to a stop at the intersection. And since the stop sign was stolen and the Stauntons did not stop, they crashed with the Dodge truck. Today, the Commonwealth bears the burden of proof, and therefore we will call 3 witnesses to the stand. The first witness we will call is Mr. Pat J. Doherty, resident of Olney, Massachusetts, who was walking through the intersection on the night of the accident. Mr. Doherty will tell you how he saw a pickup truck backed up against the stop sign pole. He will describe to you the license plate of this truck, namely that it ended with the 3 letters MBY, the same 3 letters on the defendant's vehicle. Furthermore, Mr. Doherty will tell you how he saw someone standing on the tailgate of the truck knocking the bolts off the stop sign. He will tell you how he yelled out, and then the person drove away, and following this, the stop sign was gone. The second witness we will call to the stand is Miss Sasha Burke, class president of Olney High School and organizer of the senior scavenger hunt. Miss Burke will describe to you the rules of the scavenger hunt and how she verified each item that the students turned in. Miss Burke will also tell you how the defendant was the only one to turn in a stop sign. The third and final witness we will call to the stand is Sergeant Don Beasley. Sergeant Beasley has worked with the Olney Police Department for the past 15 years. He has received accreditation as a traffic...
You may proceed.
Sergeant Beasley has received accreditation as a traffic accident reconstructionist, and he has investigated over 40 accidents. Sergeant Beasley will tell you how he determined that the cause of the accident was that the Stauntons did not stop at the intersection. Your Honor, in this case, one reckless decision led to deadly results. After the evidence has been presented and heard, you will see that the defendant stole the stop sign from the corner of Jan Street and Dean Road. Though the defendant became 40 points closer to winning the $1,500 cash prize, because of his reckless decision, 2 innocent individuals lost their lives. Therefore, Your Honor, we ask that at the end of this trial, you will deliver a verdict of guilty. Thank you, Your Honors.
Great. Thank you very much, counsel. Okay, and first of all, is Miss Burnson here today? Yeah, would you please stand up and just identify yourself for the record, please? Okay. Will you state your name for the record, please? My name is Eddie Burnson. Okay, so the record will reflect that the defendant is present for trial today. And counsel, are you prepared to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Before we proceed with opening statements, I might ask that my co-counsel have the opportunity to introduce themselves.
Certainly.
I'm Alana Young.
Good morning, Your Honors. My name is Hannah Sokoloff-Rubin.
Good morning, Your Honors. My name is Noah Loving.
Good morning, Your Honors. My name is Graham Weston.
Good morning, Your Honors. My name is Raphael Fields.
Good morning.
And we represent the defendant, Mr. Eddie Burnson. Again, before we proceed with opening statements, I might ask that I pre-mark these documents for identification purposes only.
Certainly.
Opposing counsel has already approved these documents.
Okay. Great. So have you pre-marked them at all? Or?
I might ask that I do that right now.
That's okay.
May that be Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, you may proceed with your opening statement when you're ready.
Thank you.